Bigger isn't always better, right guys? So when Xiaomi announced the Pad Mini, I knew I had to get my hands on it. It promises a small form factor, excellent performance, and a great screen, but that doesn't mean it's perfect. So in this one, I'm cutting straight to the chase and telling you why you should or why you shouldn't get the Xiaomi Pad Mini. Let's talk about the pros and cons to figure out exactly who this small but capable tablet is for. Let's start off with the good stuff. Now, despite its size, the Xiaomi Pad Mini is packing some serious heat in a figurative sense. The Dimensity 9400 Plus chipset paired with 12GB of RAM and 512GB for our review unit is a great setup. But I do have to tell you guys that the only configuration available in the Philippines has 8GB of RAM and 256GB of storage. More on that later. But for those of you who might be looking to game on something larger than your phone but not quite as heavy as a big tablet, I was able to max out the settings on Call of Duty Mobile and take advantage of high refresh rates on the display coupled with the gaming boost so that I was able to place really well in my ranking matches. Now, if you've been following the channel for a long time, you know that I don't play Genshin Impact, but we've seen the performance on the Dimensity 9400 Plus before, and it should be no issue for the Xiaomi Pad Mini, even with the lower configuration available here in the Philippines. And if you're into the benchmark scores, you can see that it can also hang with its bigger brother and other high-performing tablets we've gotten our hands on. So in terms of performance, whether for gaming or just day-to-day tasks, this has you covered. The second reason to get this is definitely the form factor and its build quality. Like I said, bigger isn't always better, and for me, the Pad Mini hits that sweet spot when you want something that's big enough for really getting into a series you may be watching or multitasking at work, but still comfortable to hold with one hand. The Xiaomi Pad Mini is just 326 grams and 6.5 millimeters thin, but it also has a metal unibody that feels premium and makes it stand up to everyday wear and tear. Couple it with a case like this that has a strap that should also lessen the fatigue on your wrist, plus also makes for a nice little stand. The third pro is the display. Because not only is it great for watching content, it also has a higher refresh rate than the usual phone or tablet. You're looking at an 8.8-inch IPS LCD display with 165Hz refresh rate. It's sharp and unbelievably smooth. Take note that the 16:10 aspect ratio does leave black bars for videos, but it is better for productivity tasks. Pair this display with really great stereo speakers and Dolby Atmos support, and you have a certified media consumption champion that's ready for any binge watching session. Now let's talk about the cons. Now the cons here aren't really cons, more of like points of consideration, at least in my opinion. First, the Xiaomi Pad Mini is a Wi-Fi only tablet. There's no SIM card slot, which for an ultra portable device is a genuine trade-off if you need to work on the go without relying on your phone as a hotspot. I honestly would have loved a variant with this option, but who knows, it's something that we might see in the future if this tablet does well. Second is the fact that the software, well, is Android. And while Xiaomi's Hyper OS is a lot better, the apps are still Android. For professional creative work like serious drawing or video editing, the optimized apps on iPad OS are still, for me, superior. So while the pen support for the Xiaomi Pad Mini is great, if you really need heavy-duty art apps, I think the industry standard is still with the iPad. To be fair though, the experience with the pen is really good. It's really responsive and I didn't notice any lag, and it does have some pressure sensitivity. And actually that's pretty much it for the cons. Again, points of consideration for me. I don't know if they're deal breakers for you. I do want to talk about battery life, which isn't bad on the Xiaomi Pad Mini, but it isn't particularly good as well. It lasted 13 hours and 6 minutes on our battery benchmark test, which should be good for a day of moderate use. So who exactly is the Xiaomi Pad Mini for? I think it's for the power user who wants something really small and portable. It's for the gamer who wants a powerful, high refresh rate experience that fits into a small bag. It's for the media enthusiast who values an immersive screen and great sound for binge watching, reading, or even web browsing. And it's for the Android fan looking for a true premium iPad Mini alternative with superior specs and compelling value. So who should skip the Xiaomi Pad Mini? Now, if it's a deal breaker for you that this is a Wi-Fi only tablet, definitely take some more time before you buy this. Go to the shop, see if the pros outweigh the cons, but if it's a deal breaker for you, again, skip it. Second, if you're a visual artist that relies on a tablet for work, again, the industry standards are still on iPad OS. At least that's what I know. Most of the people I know still use their iPad for visual work. So again, Android apps are better, but still lagging behind iOS. And I guess you're wondering how much the Xiaomi Pad is. It's around 24,499 if I'm not mistaken, which makes it a really great alternative to the iPad Mini. Again, if you just want something for social media consumption, for media consumption, for watching shows on Netflix, this is a great tablet. For playing games as well, again, I don't play Genshin Impact, but we've seen the performance on the Dimensity 9400 Plus, and it should be no problem. I am curious to see what the performance is going to be like on lower configurations, since we did get a 12GB RAM, 512GB storage version, which sadly isn't available here in the Philippines, but that should be more than enough, at least in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think of the Xiaomi Pad Mini. That's pretty much it for this one. My name is Tito James. Peace, God bless, and I'll see you guys in the next one.